Yeah, what's up, everybody? This is your WWE Raw post show for Monday, April 5th. It's the go-home show to WrestleMania. Tonight, Bad Bunny's car destroyed. New matches added to Mania, and still no Charlotte Flair. Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Dave. This is your post-show for Raw, Monday, April 5th, 2021. The go-home show to WrestleMania. Last Raw before Mania. I don't know about you, but I remember when go-home shows for Mania used to get you really pumped for Mania. I am not pumped for Mania after watching that show. That main event was god-awful. That Drew McIntyre King Corbin match to close the show was absolutely pointless, dreadful, boring, slow, long, just terrible. What an awful way to go home to WrestleMania for Raw. Is anybody excited about Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre after what you saw tonight? Anybody? What a terrible build. What a terrible match for WrestleMania. One of the least anticipated WWE title matches in WrestleMania history. Gotta be. It's pathetic. Corbin is awful. I see Bob Cote on the chat. Shout out to everybody on the chat. Doug Hepburn, member of the team. Thank you for becoming a member. Don't forget to become a member. Go to donate.ringsidereport.net. Become a member on the YouTube channel. You could also go to merch.ringsidereport.net to get some of this cool merch that we have. It's a cup that I'm drinking out of. You could drink out of it too. Merch.ringsidereport.net. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Click the bell. This was not a good episode of Raw. This was not good. This does not get you excited for WrestleMania. You remember when Stone Cold Steve Austin would be running wild, the Raw, leading into Mania, and you're like, God damn, this is going to be good. Do you remember when the Raw before Mania, there was some hot angle, there was some stare down, there was something going on where you said, damn it, I need to watch WrestleMania this weekend. There was not a single thing on this show that got you excited for WrestleMania. Not one. It's not like this is a good WrestleMania card that we have coming up, but god damn, this was a bad go-home show. This was pathetic. Promos aplenty that were just awful. We'll get to the Bad Bunny promo. What happened? Why was he talking for so long? Let's start at the top of the show. Sorry. Drew McIntyre cuts an in-ring promo. Drew talks about wrestling for the WWE title at Mania, and he did it last year, and he's doing it this year too, and by God, Bobby Lashley, no matter what you throw at me, this match is happening at Mania on Sunday, Saturday, whatever. So Drew, right off the top, is telling you, oh, you know the main event that we have booked for tonight where King Corbin, you know, if he beats me or takes me out, then he gets the shot at Bobby at WrestleMania? Like anybody is buying that match is going to change the outcome of the card on Saturday? Because this is a 2-night WrestleMania, by the way. And this WWE title match is so weak, so pathetic, it won't main event on Saturday night. It better not. It doesn't deserve to. What an awful WWE title match. So Drew's talking. Bobby and MVP show up, and Bobby's like, yeah, Drew, I know you got fired. I left the company too. It took me a long time to get to the top, and you were a great champion, but it's my time now, and I'm the champion, and then I'm going to kick your ass at WrestleMania. And then MVP's like, Drew, you might not make it to WrestleMania because King Corbin's going to get you later. And King Corbin's like, yeah, you're not going to make it to WrestleMania. He came out because, you know, We're building that terrible main event we just saw. Ugh. I really wanted to come on this show and talk about how excited I was for Raw. But this was an awful show top to bottom. There was nothing redeeming about this episode of Raw. Nothing. Bob Burger saying I have a COVID cough. Yeah, maybe I do. I don't know. I'm feeling a little, I'm all right, but like, I got a little something going on. I think it's just a cold. I think I'm fine. I don't think I have COVID. But if I do, I mean, you know, I'm feeling all right, so I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. I'll power through this, guys. It's WrestleMania week, right? A little cold's not going to stop Big Dave, okay? So, that was an awful, awful opening promo with Drew and MVP and Bobby and Corbin. 4 guys, none of them I want to hear talk. They're all really boring. Like, MVP can kind of talk, but... And Bobby's, like, getting all mad, and Drew's getting all mad, and, like, no one gives a shit. No one cares. Oh, what a terrible main event. TK says, love the Johnny shirt. Yeah, Johnny North. I'm representing for my boy Johnny North, who's usually on with me on these shows. He'll be with me on Friday night, 10 p.m., right after SmackDown for our WrestleMania preview show. And then he'll be with me Saturday and Sunday night after WrestleMania. Don't worry, Mako, I don't have the COVID. I'm good. All right? Fred and AJ need me, Bob Burger says. Great shows, and Johnny North, too. Yeah. They need me. Don't worry about it. Dave's fine. Dave's not sick. Maybe a little bit, but, yeah, it's nothing. Got my little drink. I don't have real severe symptoms. I'm all right. Right? Right? I'll be fine. I hope. Knock on wood, whatever this is. Is this wood? I think this is wood. TK says he'll be here after Mania. I'll be here after Mania with you. Rain or shine, sick or dead. I'll be here after Mania Saturday and Sunday night with Johnny. New Day and Matt Riddle are in Gorilla. Riddle wonders if New Day can get high enough to reach Omos, because Omos is really tall. Get it? High enough? And then Riddle says Ali is strong and sticky, so he might have to break him down some. He's talking about weed, guys. He's making weed jokes. And then New Day, when Riddle walked off, Kofi's like, do I need some milk and cookies now? Why do I have a sudden urge? They got like a contact high just from talking to Matt Riddle, apparently. Get it? Riddle smokes weed. You get it? Get it? Good. What's 420 this year? 420 is on a Tuesday night. That's too bad. If 420 was on a Monday night, they could have a serious Matt Riddle celebration. 420 is on a Tuesday this year. Xavier Woods beats AJ Styles. This was not a match. When I see Xavier Woods and AJ Styles in the ring, I say, okay, here we go. This could be a match of the night contender. Not even close. Not a match. Kofi Kingston, during the match, throws a microphone at Omos's chest. Just a microphone. Kofi's ringside. Omos is ringside. Kofi whips a mic at him. Omos, looks at him, and he's like, what the hell was that? He gets kind of mad, starts chasing Kofi. Kofi goes into the ring while a match is going on. Apparently, you could do that, right? Then he gets chased out of the ring by AJ Styles, who turns around, gets rolled up into a small package. 1, 2, 3. Xavier Woods gets the win. Which tells me that New Day is losing the tag team titles to AJ Styles and Omos at WrestleMania. Right? That's what I think. I don't know what Mako's saying about wires to the media, telling them that what, I have COVID? What are you telling, Mako? I don't know what he's talking about. Weed talk. That's right, Bob's Burgers. Riddle loves the weed talk, right? But this match was nothing. Xavier getting the win over AJ Styles tells me that New Day probably dropped the tag team titles to Omos and AJ at Mania, which makes sense. I mean, do something with AJ and Omos. New Day, they've held the title so many times, do you really need to have them retain at WrestleMania? What's the point? Drop the belts. But that match was nothing. So far in the show, we had a super long opening promo from Drew that sucked, and then a match between Woods and AJ that was not really much of anything. Then Braun Strowman comes to the ring to cut a promo. Ooh. The show somehow gets worse here. Strowman says Shane doesn't know what he's gotten himself into, and he's going to whoop Shane's ass for everyone who's ever been called stupid or told they're not good enough. Braun says Shane will be put in a body bag at WrestleMania. So he's either going to kill him or Shane's going to do a Darby Allin gimmick. Right? Body bag? Or like old school Undertaker, I suppose. Taker used to put his opponents in a body bag. Darby Allin likes to get dragged from pickup trucks in body bags, driven by Sting for some reason. So, body bag. Shane comes out and wonders why Braun is so angry. It's like, isn't Braun always angry, Shane? Like, that's his kind of current, like, constant state, right? He's, like, always enraged. He's the big angry giant, Braun Strowman. Shane says a steel cage match at WrestleMania is not such a stupid choice. Shane says any ordinary man would be in trouble, but he's not an ordinary man. He's a McMahon. And Shane says he will outwit and beat Braun at WrestleMania. And then Braun has a 2-on-1 match with Jackson Ryker and Elias that he barely wins. Hits his power slam on Ryker and Elias. And then kind of drags Ryker over to Elias. It was awkward. It looked bad. Tries to do the double pin, right? He's dragging one guy on top of the other, but it doesn't really work, and it's just, like, weird. Shane thought about interfering during the match, but he backed off. So, Shane is like, oh, Braun, that's a smart move, the steel cage. Not so stupid. But obviously it is, because Elias and Jackson Ryker almost beat him in a 2-on-1 match. Imagine when it's 3-on-1 at WrestleMania inside a steel cage. I'm predicting Shane wins this and proves how stupid Braun is, because Braun picked this stipulation where it's a match where Shane's cronies could easily interfere. Stupid. It is a stupid match. A stupid angle is put together. The build around this is Shane says Braun is stupid. It's fucking stupid. This is all horrible. I really don't like this angle. I don't think anybody's into this angle or this match. People are talking to me about WrestleMania the past couple of weeks, and they're saying, this is like the worst WrestleMania ever. Is there anything I have to look forward to? And I say, yeah, Kevin and Sami, and then Roman, Edge, and Bryan. On Raw, though, the Raw side, not too good, right? Drew and Bobby, Braun and Shane in a cage. What's good from Raw at Mania? Anything? AJ and Omos against New Day? Maybe? I think Riddle and Sheamus could be good. Riddle's kicking ass lately. He's been great. He's the one bright spot of Raw somehow. Miz and Morrison are interviewed backstage, and Bad Bunny's $3 million Bugatti car is there, and they decide to paint the car. A $3 million Bugatti that Bad Bunny has driven to the arena. It's Bad Bunny's car, and they put paint on it. And it's clearly like paint that'll wash off pretty easily, right? Like, it didn't look thick. It was like all runny. It was like faded. It didn't look like real thick paint. It looked like, finger paint that they put in a little bucket and they painted on Bad Bunny's car. And then Bad Bunny shows up and he sees his car painted and he's like, oh, I can't believe it. What's going on? And then Miz and Morrison attack him. And they start punching him. And then they go to throw him on a car. But of course they don't throw him on the $3 million car because that is a shoot $3 million car, right? That's really a very expensive car. So they don't throw Bad Bunny on the hood because they don't want to damage the car. They throw him on the Nissan that was parked right next to the Bugatti. Which, like, you're pulling up in a Nissan, you're looking over, you're like, God damn. Right? So they didn't want to damage the Bugatti, which they didn't. They didn't really paint all over it. I mean, they did, but it's going to wash off, no problem. It's not real damage. And, of course, when they threw... You would think that if you're going to throw Bad Bunny into a car, you would throw him into the car you're trying to destroy. Because it's his car and you're trying to make a point. But instead, they throw him on the hood of the Nissan because, you know, that's not going to cost them too much to repair. The Bugatti, another story. Dumb. When you can see through this stuff, it's dumb. Right? You remember when Stone Cold Steve Austin put cement in Vince's car and it, like, popped and exploded? Like, that was a nice-looking car. I think it was like a Corvette or something, you know? Probably not a $3 million car, but still, they destroyed it. This was not destruction of property. This was like, oh, I put some finger paint on the car, one wash through, you know, put it through the car wash and you're good, Bad Bunny. Like, he was acting like, oh, no, I can't believe it, no creo. But, like, come on, man. He wasn't selling it that well. Patrick C. Hamilton drops a super chat. He tells me to buy some lozenges? What's the matter, Patrick? I have a big week ahead. Yeah. We're good, Patrick. Don't worry about it, buddy. Buy some lozenges. Thank you, Patrick, for the super chat. You can super chat. Patrick is the leader for the night. Thank you, Patrick. You're on top of the leaderboard. Shout out to Patrick. I'm feeling all right. Like, I think I have a bit of a cold. But, you know, during this pandemic time, every time you have, like, a bit of a scratchy throat or, like, a bit of a, you know, like a bit of a runny nose, people will go crazy. People will think, uh-oh, he's got the Rona or whatever. I mean, I guess it's possible I have the Rona, but I really don't think so. Seems like those symptoms are more severe, right? There's, like, a fever and a serious cough, and my symptoms now are just like, a little cold. My son had a little cold. Now I got it. My son's in preschool. That's what happens, right? Goddamn preschool. Fucking preschool. Those fucking preschoolers giving me a cold. Little motherfuckers. No, they're good kids. They're good kids. I'm joking around. But I think that's what's going on, right? Don't worry about me, guys. I'm going to be here all week. I'm a tough guy. I'm tough. I can survive. All right? I'm tougher than fucking Bad Bunny. Oh, no! No. Bad Bunny's cool. I like Bad Bunny, actually. I'm like one of the few guys in the wrestling world that is a fan of Bad Bunny. I'm waiting for that Bad Bunny action figure to drop. That's going to be sick. Send me that. So Bad Bunny gets his car painted and he gets tossed on a Nissan, right? Then we have Naya and Shayna versus Asuka and Rhea Ripley. This also sucked. I guess they accomplished something by turning Rhea heel, right? Rhea was clearly the heel in this match, even more than Naya and Shayna somehow. So Rhea, she tagged Asuka like on the head. She was being like really team-like. She wasn't a good teammate to Asuka, right? During the match. And then Asuka gets on the top rope, and Rhea, who's her partner, knocks her off the top rope. Just pushes her off the top rope down to the floor. Hits her with a suplex. The referee's like, what the hell? And Rhea's like, meh, I don't like her. We're wrestling at Mania, don't you remember? The ref's like, oh yeah, I guess there's no disqualification here because you're her tag team partner. So Rhea tosses Asuka into the ring after knocking her off the top and suplexing her. And then Shayna hits Asuka with a knee to the face. 1, 2, 3, match is over. Naya and Shayna beat Asuka and Rhea. So Rhea is the heel going into the match. That's really all that was. It was Asuka and Rhea not getting along in the tag team match. The match itself was really nothing special. And it was really to get the Rhea-Asuka feud a little bit heated up, you know, trying to get some some animosity between the two, trying to give you a reason to care, which I'm struggling to care about these two and to find a reason why they don't like each other. I care about this match because I think both are very good wrestlers. I think the wrestling match will be good. But at WrestleMania, that's not enough, right? You need to have a good story. You need to have a good feud. This was sloppily put together. It's for one of the major titles on the show. And it's just not hot. It's got no sizzle. Asuka and Rhea Ripley should be a big match at WrestleMania. But it's just another thing on the card because the build has been awful. They've done nothing to build this. Tonight was the first of like, oh, okay, there's like a thing. Oh, Rhea's bad, Asuka's good. Okay. Tonight was the first time you knew who the heel was going into the match, right? And we're 5 days out. It's a terrible build. You're supposed to build title matches at WrestleMania. This was not built. And I understand this match was supposed to be Lacey Evans versus Charlotte Flair. Make no mistake about it. Lacey Evans was supposed to be walking in to WrestleMania as the Raw Women's Champion. Asuka and Rhea might not even been booked on this card, right? It was going to be Charlotte challenging Lacey and her dad for the Raw Women's title. But Lacey got pregnant. And then the WWE thought Charlotte was pregnant, even though she wasn't. And then Charlotte got COVID. And then they're like, oh, let's just do Rhea Ripley and Asuka. And Charlotte, still not on WrestleMania. Neither's Bayley, by the way. Two of the biggest stars in their company, not booked. Jeff Hardy's also not booked. Jeff is another story. Like Jeff, maybe he'll be in the Andre Battle Royal on Friday night because they're doing the Andre Battle Royal on WrestleMania Smackdown Friday, right? But Charlotte and Bayley not booked, like that's a problem. That's a screw up. There's a story there. Something went wrong. And now Asuka and Rhea Ripley. The build is just awful. Doug Hepburn says, Rhea's talented, but they're trying too hard with the tough guy thing. Tough girl thing, I think you mean, right? Huh. I think, her gimmick is all right, but yeah, I'm not believing her. I'm not believing her as a real threat to Asuka, quite frankly. She's big and all, but Asuka's been there, done that, veteran. I might put Rhea over, but I kind of think Asuka's going to win, especially after tonight. Asuka looked bad tonight. She got beat up by Rhea Ripley. I think that's setting up Asuka to beat Rhea. I think we have one new made star in the women's division at WrestleMania, and it's going to be Bianca Belair, not Rhea Ripley. Not yet. Mako wants to know which match has true sizzle. I'd say the Edge, Roman, Bryan thing's got some real heat going into it. You don't know what's going on. Bryan's been doing great promos. So is Edge. So is Roman. They've all been doing really good work leading into this. The build has been great. The match should be great. I don't really know who's going to walk out as champion. That's the match to me. That's the main event. That closes the two-night event on Sunday night. Edge, Roman, Bryan is the main event of WrestleMania. It's on night 2, on Sunday. To me, that's the last match you put on. That is the closing match. And I don't know who wins. Night 1, the closing match should be Sasha and Bianca. Not Bobby and Drew. That could open the show. What a terrible WWE title match. Just awful. I don't dislike either guy, really. I'm not a huge fan of either guy, but just the build to this. And again, I don't think the match is going to be very good either. How is Drew tonight against Corbin? And Bobby is like a step up from Corbin, but not by much. Not by that much. Right? I mean, Corbin sucks, but Bobby is like... Bobby and Drew is not a match that's going to get you excited. And when you see it in the ring, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's not going to be good. MVP backstage with Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. And Cedric and Shelton are getting in MVP's face. And Cedric says he might not beat Bobby tonight, but he's going to give him a scar. And Cedric says he can't wait to see Bobby get his ass kicked at WrestleMania. And Shelton then tells MVP to get his crippled ass out of the way. Which, like, can you say crippled? Is that appropriate? When Shelton told MVP to get his crippled ass out of the way, I was like, crippled? Are we still saying that? I thought we weren't, but hey, Shelton did. I mean, I just said it, I guess. But I don't think it's appropriate. I wouldn't use it to describe anyone. I think it's like an old-timey term, right? We don't say crippled. We say disabled, right? Or differently abled. I don't even think we say disabled anymore, right? It used to be handicapped, and then it was disabled, and now I think it's like differently abled. Well, first it was crippled, then it was handicapped, and it was disabled, and now it's like differently abled, I think. I don't even know. But we still have handicap matches in wrestling, which, like, should we be saying handicap matches? Because I don't think you're supposed to say handicap. But then there's like a handicap in golf, right? Which I don't really understand what that is. I've never played golf in my life, so I don't know. Special needs. Yeah, special needs. That's another thing, right? Goddamn, pal. There's a lot of words out there. But Shelton said crippled. I don't think you should be saying crippled, Shelton. I don't think that's good. Anyways. Naya and Shayna are being interviewed backstage about defending their titles at Mania and whether or not they'll be able to retain the titles considering they have so many opponents and no. It's a really long question. And Naya was like, that was a super long question. You need some water there? What's going on? Patrick C. Hamilton says, ask AJ. He's up to the words of the day. He's up to date on the words of the day. He really isn't. He really isn't. Doug Hepburn telling me to take a shot at Jack Daniels is good for the cold. Alcohol kills the Rona, too. Does it? I don't have Jack Daniels in my home. I'm not a drinker. I don't drink alcohol. I don't really like it. Does weed kill the Rona? Because I know it kills inflammation. Doug Hepburn says, better leave AJ out of it, Patrick. Yeah, you probably better. That seems like a good call. Should I be drinking Jack Daniels? Maybe I'll have a shot of Jack after the show. I don't have Jack Daniels. What do I have? I think I have Johnny Walker, though. I think I do have some Johnny Walker, like gold or something, or black or something. My buddy Paul left a bottle of Johnny Walker at my house. It's nice, too. It's like a nice bottle. It's fancy, Johnny Walker. Should I take a shot of that? Oh, it's awful, though. It tastes so bad. I don't like that stuff. Makes my mouth fire. Right? It's like hot. It's like, ha. Whiskey. I don't like whiskey. I know some people like it. They're like, this is tasty. I'm like, oh, I can never taste the difference between one whiskey or another. I'm like, I don't have that type of palate, you know? I can taste weed, though. If you tell me this is I can taste that. But not whiskey. I don't know. People are telling me to drink. I don't think that's a good idea. Maybe I should do it on the show. Should I take a shot right now? Should I just get drunk? Because honestly, one shot, because I don't drink, will probably fuck me up. To be really real with you guys, I'm a lightweight when it comes to alcohol. I really am. What can I say? Or Uncle Benny's wine. Yeah, Uncle Benny's wine. My AJ's Uncle Benny. He's got good wine. Nice and spicy. You know, it's like red wine, but it's got a kick to it. I like red wine. That I drink. I'm a classy man. I don't drink whiskey. I'm like a very, my grandfather was from France, so, fancy. French wine, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a whiskey drinker. What the hell are we talking about? Nia Jax and Shayna are interviewed backstage about defending their titles at Mania. Lana and Naomi show up, and they're like, "Oh, we might beat you." And then the sexy muscle friends are there, Dana and Mandy, and they're like, "Oh." Mandy was looking out there tonight. She was like, she showed up, and I was like, "Whoa, what's going on there?" What color is Mandy? Orange? Natty and Tamina show up, and they're like, ugh. And then the Riot Squad is there, too, and they're like, ugh, what about us? And then Billie Kay shows up, and she's like, ah. And then Shayna's like, do you even have a partner? And Billy's like, no, but Carmella is thinking about it. And then they all kind of argued amongst themselves. Naya's like, look, you're all going to wrestle each other in a tag team turmoil match on Saturday, and then on Sunday, the winner will wrestle me and Shayna. And then they all kind of argued amongst themselves. It was a really dumb segment. It was like a comedy segment to build a match. It was dumb as hell. Dumb as hell. And that sets up the match. Guys are recommending all sorts of stuff. Buckley's, cough syrup, 2 ounces of something. I don't know. Guys, I'm all right. I'll be fine by Wednesday, all right? Watch the show Dynamite Wednesday. I won't be, my cold will be gone, and I'll be fine. Don't worry about Big Dave. Big Dave is tough. Big Dave feels no pain, okay? No. I've told you in previous fights, I feel no pain. I like Billie Kay. I hope Billie Kay and Carmella become a tag team. Other than that, fuck this match. Right? Fuck this match. What a stupid fucking match. So it's tag team turmoil, which means like it's a gauntlet, right? A gauntlet match on night 1 where the winner faces the tag team champions on night 2. I say Lana and Naomi win. Doug Hepburn dropping that super chat. Was there a message with that? What's the message? Thank you, Doug. Shout out to Doug. You're the new leader of the night. No message. Oh, if we super chat, you drink. Oh, shit. Well, I'd have to leave the room and go get some alcohol here, guys. And you're going to have to super chat more than $5 to get me to drink. Like, I mean, I don't like to drink. I really don't want to. It's gonna take more to get me drunk on the show, to be honest, guys. I don't know. I'm sorry. Maybe for WrestleMania I'll have a drink. You know, if I'm still like under the weather for Mania, I'll drink at Mania, I guess. But it's gonna take a little more to get me to drink. I'm sorry, Doug. I don't want to drink whiskey. And I also don't want to interrupt the show to go find a shot glass and go see if I have whiskey in my cabinet in my kitchen, right? Do I need to go get whiskey right now? Keep dropping the super chats. Keep dropping the super chats and maybe I'll drink whiskey on the show tonight, right? If we can hit like a number, right? If I could get to like $100, right? I'd drink for $100. I mean, I'd drink for 50 to be real. Times are hard, baby. Times are hard, baby. Yeah. Get us to 50 and I'll drink. I guess. Oh, I'm regretting saying that already. 100. I'm saying 100 because I don't want to do it, and I don't think we're going to get to 100. Okay, guys? I don't want to drink. Angelo says we don't need Dave drunk, guys. I agree with Angelo. Thank you, Angelo. He's on Team Dave. God damn. Yeah, no. Get me to 100 on Super Chat tonight, and I'll take a shot. But that's, like, it. Because it's not worth it for me. I'm not going to feel good. You know, alcohol makes you feel, like, nauseous. You know, if I take one shot, I might get dehydrated and feel sick. It's not something I do often, you know, so it'll mess up my system. I need to get paid for real to mess up my system, right? Uh-oh. My man Glenn Mack, G-Mac is on the chat. He said, did someone say get drunk? Yeah, they're trying to get me to drink whiskey to cure my cold here, Glenn. I'll drink whiskey, but it's got to hit like 100 on the Super Chat tonight, and then I'll drink whiskey on the show here tonight, right here. But you hit 100 on the Super Chat total. Not like from one guy, but total. Right now we're at like, I don't know, $8. So we're a long way away, guys. I'm not ready. I don't want it. Good God almighty. But if you guys hit 100, I mean, I'll do it, I guess. I said I will, so I'm a man of my word. You guys know that. I'm a man of my word. I'll stick to my word. If we get to 100 on Super Chat, I'll take a shot. But other than that, I'm not fucking doing it, okay? Sounds awful. I don't like whiskey. Glenn likes whiskey. That guy, you don't have to pay him to drink. He loves it. Maybe pay him to smoke weed. Hey, Glenn, should do a show where you get high and I get drunk and we meet in the middle somewhere. Bobby beat Cedric Alexander via Hurt Lock. Shelton and Cedric tried to beat up Lashley before the match. Didn't work. Bobby just beat up Shelton, tossed him out. After Bobby beat Cedric, he put Shelton in the Hurt Lock too. So, that was that. I mean, Cedric told you before the match, I may not beat Bobby, but I'm gonna... It's like, oh, okay. Well, you're definitely not gonna beat Bobby. He's a WWE champion going into WrestleMania, and you're not even booked. Why was this match happening? Waste of time. Waste of time. Not a good match. Not worth watching, just filler. Raw tonight was nothing but filler. Speaking of filler, a very long Randy Orton, Alexa Bliss promo package aired. Very long. In case you've not been watching at all for the past several months, they recapped what's going on with Alexa and Randy and The Fiend. And I didn't really watch it because I've been watching and I don't need to see that video package. It was a long-ass video package, which I appreciated because while I was watching Raw, I was also watching a live wrestling figure auction. So that allowed me to pay closer attention to the wrestling figures that I did not buy but seriously considered. There was a 16-inch Hulk Hogan action figure from like way back. I think it was an LJN. 16-inch, big one. Sold for $50. I wanted to bid on it, but I didn't. I have bought things in pro wrestling figure auctions before, and I love them. Let me tell you guys, you have not lived until you have bid on wrestling toys in wrestling figure auctions on Facebook. Okay? That shit is fun. And that's what I was doing while watching Raw. And this long Randy Orton video package allowed me to pay more attention to the wrestling figure auction that I was watching and participating in. Shout out to that guy who was doing the auction tonight. It was good. I didn't even bid on anything. I was just watching. Just in case there was something I needed. And there wasn't. Last thing I bought at a wrestling figure auction was a... What did I... Oh, I got a Barry Windham. A Barry Windham Classic Superstars. Dope. And still in the package. Still in the box. Beautiful. This is from like 2006. Look, this is what I got. Look at that. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's nice. I have this in my possession right now. This guy right here. It's Barry Windham. I don't make a lot of Windham statues or figures. That's the last thing I bought in a pro wrestling figure auction, okay? I got problems, guys. I'm obsessed with professional wrestling, and I'm buying figures in auctions. What's going on? Ah, good God Almighty. These are the things that I'm spending my time doing. Okay, guys? I don't know. What can I say? So I was watching a wrestling figure auction during the Raw show tonight. That was fun. And then Damian Priest and Bad Bunny came to the ring for a promo. Priest talks about Miz and Morrison. And at this point, I don't know who's worse on the mic. Damian Priest or Bad Bunny. Priest says Miz was so concerned with Bad Bunny that he couldn't hold the WWE title for more than a week. So Priest blaming Bad Bunny for Miz's short title reign, even though it was really Bobby Lashley that just, took it from him. Priest says, let's make it a tag team match at WrestleMania. And then it's like, okay, tag team match. That seemed like the match they should have had at the beginning, but apparently Morrison and Priest were maybe nursing some injuries, so they waited till last minute. It was going to be Miz versus Bad Bunny, but then they realized, hey, probably a terrible idea to have Miz one-on-one with Bad Bunny. Let's throw the workers in there, Damian Priest and John Morrison. Maybe we could salvage this thing. And then Bad Bunny started talking. Bunny says he's here following his dreams, and he loves this business and respects all the superstars. He says he would watch every pay-per-view and Raw and Smackdown with his family and friends, and he's got a lot of good memories with the WWE, but now he doesn't know how to feel. He says he loves Booker T, and he was there to perform his song for Booker T because he respects him so much. He mentions Triple H and Taker and Flair and Stone Cold and all the wrestlers that he loved growing up. Bunny doesn't know why Miz doesn't respect him, and he says Miz disrespected his DJ and his DJ equipment at the Royal Rumble, and he doesn't know why he did that. And then Bunny started talking in Spanish and says they all would have done the same thing as he would have done. Lo mismo. I speak a little Spanish, so I kind of understood what Bad Bunny was saying. He says he can't, no creo, cannot believe what the Miz did to him. No creo. And Bad Bunny tells Miz that Saturday at WrestleMania, he will whip his ass. And then Miz and Morrison interrupt from the parking lot, and they tell Bad Bunny he doesn't belong in the WWE, and that he overstayed his welcome, and they're going to take care of him at WrestleMania. And then Miz and Morrison are like, oh, we're really leaving in class, not like your stupid car. We have a limo. And then they get in a limo and leave. I don't really understand what the point of the limo was, but hey. So, Miz and Morrison escape. It's a tag team match at WrestleMania. That Bad Bunny promo was way longer than it was supposed to be. I don't know what was going on there. That was a strange promo. I did not like that. I thought it was a little too long. And I feel like when he started speaking Spanish, he just got lost and was like, let me just speak Spanish. Because, you know, he was doing his promo in English, the things he was told to say, and he kind of went in circles a few times. I respect wrestling so much. I watch wrestling. Triple H, Stone Cold. I respect everything. I'm here following my dreams. Like, he was going around in circles, and then when he started speaking Spanish, he kind of repeated what he said. That was way longer of a promo than you would usually see for a guy like Bad Bunny on Raw, which leads me to believe that that went way off the rails, way overtime, and it was a mess. So, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen, but it was pretty long, and I don't know. I don't know if it really helped build the Miz and Morrison versus Bad Bunny and Damian Priest match. I think that match is built by putting it on paper. Bad Bunny's going to wrestle. Okay. What's that going to be like? I'm down to see that. Bad Bunny's going to do wrestling moves, and he's going to be in a match. Good. Fine. I'm in. But Miz and Morrison and their whole feud and the Bugatti, that Bugatti thing was not good tonight. Because it was clear they didn't really do any kind of damage. When you're doing an angle like that, you got to do some fucking damage. Like Stone Cold when he busted Vince's car with the cement. You got to do some fucking damage. That paint was not convincing. They didn't throw Bad Bunny on the Bugatti. Throw Bad Bunny on the fucking Bugatti. Vince, you've got the money. You could pay for the repairs, man. Sell your fucking angle. Invest in your shit. They didn't do that. Fucking garbage. What else happened? Sheamus talked to Mustafa about Riddle. And then Riddle delivered the highlight of the night. Matt Riddle, to me, I don't know about you guys, but Matt Riddle, to me, is the highlight of the show and has been for the past, say, month. At least the past couple of weeks. Last week, he had a kick-ass match with Sheamus, right? kick-ass match. This week he has a very good match with Mustafa Ali. Match of the night, by far. By far. Like, it wasn't even close. The wrestling matches tonight were god-awful. And Mustafa and Riddle actually had a good match, right? Woods and AJ, barely a match. Strowman against Riker and Elias, like, fucking come on. Naya and Shayna against Asuka and Rhea. Barely a match, just Rhea and Asuka doing their thing. Building to Mania. Bobby and Cedric. Come on. Garbage. And then the main event, Drew and Corbin. Garbage. Riddle and Mustafa was the only good match tonight. Mustafa's a good wrestler. They haven't figured out how to use him, but he's good in the ring. And Riddle, they're starting to figure out how to use. My favorite moment of the night, really funny, I don't know, but Riddle, when Sheamus and Mustafa are talking, and then Riddle comes out of nowhere on his scooter and goes, vroom, and like vrooms by with this big smile on his face. I popped. I laughed for that. That was funny. I was watching that with my son. My son fucking loved it. He's like, let's watch that again. And again, we watched it like 10 times. Riddle is over big time with the 3.5-year-olds. And I'll tell you, he's over with their dads too. Like, I like Riddle. I think he's fucking good in the ring. He's legit. He's got the good, martial arts, legit wrestling background, amateur wrestler, jiu-jitsu black belt, fought in the UFC. He's got personality. His matches are always fucking good. Riddle is awesome. The only thing that, there's that woman who accused him of sexual assault. That's still kind of pending, right? So I want to be 100% behind Riddle, but then there's, sexual assault allegations, which makes me kind of wonder about the character of the man. And he's like, oh, I didn't sexually assault that woman. I was cheating on my wife, and my whole family with her, but I didn't sexually assault her. We had sex, but it was consensual. It's like, you were married and you had kids at the time? Yeah. I mean, that's okay. It's better than, adultery is better than sexual assault, I guess, on the list of terrible things to do. But it's not great. It's not great, especially when you got kids. It's not great. It's not something that I love to see, right? You don't love to see that. A father with kids and all that stuff, married, cheating on his wife with somebody who's now accusing him of sexual assault. So, it was not a good situation for anybody, right? I like Riddle. I like Riddle. Sometimes when you get high, you make mistakes, I suppose. I don't know, man. I get high. I don't make that kind of mistake, but hey, it is what it is. Every man has his price. So Riddle beats Mustafa Ali with the Bro Derek. That match was fucking great. Sheamus was on commentary, yelled at Riddle afterwards. Sheamus and Riddle should be kick-ass at Mania. It was kick-ass on Raw last week, so it'll be good at Mania too. I like Riddle, but there's that allegation, which makes me go, damn it. You want to like these people 100%, but then sometimes there's shit you hear about them. You're like, come on. Like, I love Hulk Hogan, right? But, the racist shit is kind of like, I wish that didn't happen, I love Steve Austin, but, there's a domestic violence stuff with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Haven't heard any real bad things about The Rock. That's a plus. But, that's the thing with some of your heroes, you don't want to know all the things about them. Deborah still says Stone Cold beat the shit out of her. And that's not cool, Stone Cold. I want to love Stone Cold. I want to love Hulk Hogan. I want to love Matt Riddle. I want to love Will Ospreay. But there are issues with some of these guys. That's why you just watch wrestling and you try to avoid all the other outside stuff. But, it impacts the way you look at these guys. Yeah, Doug Hepburn, he says, I love Benoit in the ring, but, yeah, of course. I loved Benoit in the ring too. God damn. One of my fondest memories of seeing professional wrestling live was Chris Benoit, it was a house show here in Montreal. So some of you guys are in Montreal. You might have been at this show, right? Edge was the world heavyweight champion at the time, and they had a battle royal at the beginning of the show, okay? And Khali was in the battle royal, and Bobby Lashley was in the battle royal, and Randy Orton was in the battle royal, and Chris Benoit was in the battle royal, and a bunch of guys were in the battle royal. And the winner of this show opening battle royal faced Edge for the world heavyweight title in the main event. And I went into this house show, and I'm watching the battle royal, and I'm thinking, oh, well, Randy's probably going to win because I think they were involved in something at the time. It just made sense for Randy to be the one to win and then face Edge in the main event, right? It was Randy. Makes sense for Randy to win things in main event shows, right? But Benoit won the battle royal, and I was pretty hyped about it because I got to see Benoit versus Edge because not only did one of my favorite wrestlers at the time win the battle royal, he was also going to get a world title shot in the main event against another one of my favorite wrestlers at the time, Edge, and we were going to be treated to a classic house show match, Edge versus Chris Benoit, and it was fucking good. One of my fondest memories of seeing wrestling live, Edge Benoit, one of the greatest house shows I've ever been to. Incredible stuff. But now, you think of Benoit and the terrible shit that he did at the end of his life. And Mako's saying, right on Super Dave, rarely does anyone mention his cheating on the family. Good to hear. Well, yeah, I mean, I think cheating on your wife is one thing, but when you have kids, it's a whole other thing, I don't think cheating on your wife is particularly a good thing, but when you cheat on your wife and there's kids there, those kids are going to grow up and they're going to know about you, and they're going to look at you in a way, They're going to find out about you. And they're not going to look at you the same way. You're not going to be their hero in the same way. That's hard to take. Bob Cote says the Riddle thing is 99% just an affair with a woman becoming obsessed. Well, that's how Riddle is framing it. But that's not how she's framing it. And I've seen different text messages and things like that between them, and I am not convinced either way. I'm not convinced that Riddle did that shit, but I'm also not convinced that he didn't. So I'm not going to come here and condemn Matt Riddle and say, oh, he's a piece of garbage and he did this and he did that. But I am going to tell you that I have my doubts and I have my reservations because I'm not convinced that he didn't do that shit, which is difficult. I want to be convinced that he didn't sexually assault somebody. And if he didn't, fantastic. We could praise Riddle. We could talk about how great Riddle is. But if he did, it's not good, right? It's not good at all. It's hard to get behind a guy like that. It's hard to watch him wrestle, really. It's hard to watch a guy wrestle and be like, yeah, this is good. Because in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, this guy, fuck, So, and you could say, oh, well, Riddle's still employed by the WWE, so that shows that he's, Velveteen Dream is still technically employed by the WWE. When's the last time you saw him on TV? Where's Velveteen? Huh? Velveteen's accused of some pretty fucked up shit. Sexual contact with a minor. That's what he was accused of. WWE kept him on board, but they took him off TV. It's kind of a weird move. Where the fuck is Velveteen Dream? Huh? What happened to him? Are they just sitting him at home, waiting until his contract runs out so they can just kind of disappear him and stay quiet? I don't know. A lot of weird shit goes on in wrestling, hey? A lot of weird shit. I mean, Jerry Lawler, right? He's been accused of some fucked up shit, too. That people forget about. That's the other thing. People just kind of forget about certain things. Certain people get a pass, and you're like, why did they get a pass? Why has Mike Tyson got a pass all these years, right? I don't know. Why did Tupac get a pass? A lot of people get a pass. And you're like, well, pardon me? Like, how old was Elvis when he met Priscilla? Right? Like, was Elvis a pedophile? Was he? Like, how old was Priscilla? Was she 14? And he was how old? 24? Yeah. I'm Googling this right now. They met in 1959 in West Germany. Elvis was serving in the U.S. Army, and Priscilla was living with her family. Elvis was 24, and Priscilla was 14. And they started dating. Elvis was a pedophile. I said it. I don't give a fuck. Elvis was a pedophile. Why does he get a pass? Why do people celebrate Elvis Presley? This is a 24-year-old man fucking a 14-year-old girl. He's a pedophile. Fuck Elvis. And he stole fucking music. Elvis didn't invent shit. He stole all that shit from black people and fucking ripped it off. Fuck Elvis. To be really real, I don't give a fuck about Elvis. That man was a pedophile. She's 14. He was 24 years old. I don't give a fuck if he married her and they had a nice fucking family life. She's 14 years old. You don't marry somebody when you're 24 and she's 14. Imagine somebody doing that today. What people would say. You think we'd celebrate this guy as the king of rock and roll? Get the fuck out of here. That's crazy shit. Nobody talks about that. Doug Hepburn. It was in Europe. So I don't give a fuck if it was in Europe. They let that little fucking Polanski walk around in Europe for some reason. That motherfucker's a pedophile too. What are these fucking pedophiles walking around? Right? Jesus. People trying to defend that shit. I'm not defending none of that shit. Elvis. Oh, they didn't have sex right away. Bullshit. He's 24 years old. She's 14. Oh, they're dating. It's just innocent, right? Get the fuck out of here. You can't just give people a pass, all right? You can't pick and choose who's the monster just because you like some people and you don't like others. Sorry, it's not how life works. If people are bad, they're bad. If you fucking love them and they're bad, too bad. That's how life works. You can't pick and choose who gets a pass. And if Riddle did that shit, he gets no pass. Somehow Stone Cold got a pass. I don't know how he managed that. I mean, there's a mugshot. There's stories that Deborah still tells, but, you know. He got a pass. Elvis got a pass. I don't know how that shit worked out. Super chat. Super chat. Thank you, Angelo. Angelo says, I want to know what happened on Raw tonight since I missed it. There you go. Mako's mad that I'm like ripping on Elvis. I see Mako on the chat. He's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, he's 24. She's 14. Do I need to say more? That's what happened. That's what fucking happened, boy. What do you want me to tell you? What happened on Raw, Angelo, was a bad show. I've recapped most of Raw. We are now at Riddle and Mustafa. That was the match of the night, for sure. Riddle wins with the Bro Derek. Drew McIntyre beat King Corbin by pinfall after the Claymore kick. That was the main event. MVP was on commentary. At a certain point, MVP, with his cane, he gives it to Corbin, and he's like, look, it's not about winning the match, Corbin. It's about taking Drew out. Take him out before Mania. So he gives him the cane, and then Corbin takes it, like he's going to use it, and the referee is just like, yeah, all right. And then, of course, Drew dodges the cane shot, hits the ropes, hits the Claymore, 1, 2, 3, match is over. Bobby Lashley comes out after the match, stares from the stage. They do a stare down from a distance, and that's your closing shot for Raw. going into your WWE title match at WrestleMania. Not too good. Not a great episode of Monday Night Raw tonight. Not great. Where's Samoa Joe? Samoa Joe was on commentary tonight, Angelo. Samoa Joe was on commentary. He was back. I don't know where he was, but he's back tonight. Maybe he had COVID. I don't know. But he was gone for a bit, a couple weeks. Now he's back on commentary. So to recap Raw, Xavier Woods with a win over AJ Styles. Braun Strowman with a win over Riker and Elias in a 2-on-1. Naya and Shayna over Asuka and Rhea when Rhea attacked Asuka. Bobby over Cedric. Riddle over Mustafa and Drew over Corbin. I got to say, it's one of the worst go-home episodes of Raw leading into Mania that I've ever seen. It was really not good. One of the worst. Not too much on Raw, on the Raw side, is selling WrestleMania. This year's WrestleMania is being sold by SmackDown. You look at night one. Lashley versus Drew for the title. I don't think that main event's night one. I think Sasha and Bianca main event night one. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison. That's on night one. That's from Raw. Kofi and Woods against AJ and Omos. That's for the Raw tag titles. Braun versus Shane. Also on night one. Steel cage. And then the tag team turmoil, of course, is on night one. Dana and Mandy versus Lana and Naomi versus Natty and Tamina versus the Riot Squad. And then Cesaro versus Seth Rollins is the other match on night one from SmackDown. So you see most of the matches on night one are the Raw matches. I guess we have a few matches on night two that are Raw, but it's the good ones. Night two is way better than night one. Night one looks terrible. Night two, we have Roman versus Edge versus Bryan. That should be the main event for the Universal title. Asuka versus Rhea for the Raw title. That'll be good. Fiend versus Randy. Yeah, that's not going to be great. At least we didn't have to watch another Fiend-Randy segment tonight. It was just that video package recapping. Big E versus Apollo in the Nigerian drum fight for the Intercontinental title. See what that is. I don't know. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn with Logan Paul ringside. Riddle versus Sheamus for the U.S. title. And Naya and Shayna versus the winners of the Tag Team Turmoil. Like, the Raw matches are more... They're more interesting on night two than they are on night one. The Raw matches on night two, Asuka Rhea, Fiend Randy, Riddle Sheamus. Those are more solid than the ones on night one, which, you know, Braun Shane, New Day against Styles and Omos, Bunny and Priest against Miz and Morrison, and Lashley and Drew. Night two is the better night of WrestleMania. For sure. 100%. All right, guys. That's it. I'll be back here Wednesday night, right after Dynamite with Johnny North and my man Glenn. We will be back. Doug says I was spot on tonight. Great show. Thank you, Doug. Probably lay off the drink. Looking forward to the weekend. Yeah, I'm not going to drink anything. Don't worry about it. Not drinking anything. Maybe I have a shot of whiskey, though. If you guys say it'll feel better. Maybe whiskey. Maybe. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you, Doug. Yeah, Doug says it's not Mania till Sunday. Like, Saturday is kind of the lead-in. Sunday is the real show. Shout out to Angelo. You are the super chat leader of the night. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Doug, for dropping the super chats tonight. Thank you to all the members. We appreciate you. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, click the bell, get notifications every time we're on. Once again, I'll be back on Wednesday night right after AEW Dynamite. Then we'll be back Thursday night, 8 p.m. to preview some UFC. Darren Till is out. It'll be Kevin Holland, right, against Marvin Vettori coming up on Saturday. That one going on Saturday night, so we'll preview that Thursday night, 8 p.m. here, Ringside Report MMA. And then Friday night, 10 p.m., right after SmackDown, it is our WrestleMania preview show. You are not going to want to miss this. Myself and Johnny North previewing both nights of WrestleMania right after WrestleMania SmackDown Friday night, 10 p.m., right here on the Ringside Report Network. Shout out to Jason, Angelo, Doug, Patrick. Shout out to Mako. I know Mako was mad at me saying some bad things about Elvis. I guess Mako's an Elvis fan. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Elvis. But shout out to Mako anyways. But shout out to the members. We appreciate you. Patrick, Doug, and everybody else. Okay? Thank you very much. I'll see you again Wednesday night right after AEW Dynamite.